ugly inner city sweat hogs, hit the music.
When El Grande Americano first stepped onto WWE television, fans laughed. I laughed. A masked caricature of American patriotism. It felt like a throwback to the cheapest days of wrestling history. Nobody believed this gimmick would last, but here we are, months later, and El Grande Americano is one of the most beloved, most entertaining characters in WWE today. How? Because two men, Chad Gable and Ludwig Kaiser, decided to do what nobody thought possible, take a joke and turn it into art. This is the story of how a gimmick that should have failed became a fan favorite, a story of reinvention, passion, and the kind of creativity that keeps wrestling alive. When El Grande Americano debuted, it felt like a rib on the audience. A superhero-style luchador draped in red, white, and blue. Goofy catchphrases, awkward comedy skits. This wasn't the cool, edgy gimmick fans wanted in 2024. Scream mid-card comedy fodder. And let's be honest, the track record for these gimmicks isn't great. For every Kurt Angle who embraced the cheese and made it legendary, there's a dozen Doink the Clowns left in the nostalgia bin. That's enough! But then something changed. The man under the mask wasn't just playing a joke. He was planning a reinvention. Enter Chad Gable, a man who has always been an in-ring technician, Olympic-level athlete, pound for pound one of the best wrestlers in the world. But WWE never gave him the main event spotlight he deserved. So, when he stepped into this character, people thought he was being buried. But Gable saw something else, an opportunity. Instead of phoning it in, Gable poured his soul into El Grande Americano. He brought his technical prowess, his suplex arsenal, his timing, and he made it feel authentic. Yes, the character was over the top, but the wrestling was real. Every match was crisp, intense, and full of storytelling. Fans started noticing this wasn't just a comedy act anymore. This was a serious competitor disguised in a ridiculous gimmick.
Gay!
And that contrast became its strength. If Gable gave El Grande Americano the wrestling credibility, Ludwig Kaiser gave him style. Kaiser is one of the most underrated character workers in the WWE, a man who understands subtlety, body language, and the art of presentation. When Kaiser joined the act, it became something else entirely. He added layers of sophistication, turning El Grande Americano from a silly patriot gimmick into a full-blown character piece. Kaiser played the European snob who saw El Grande as his masterpiece, elevating it from a gimmick to a movement. It was cinematic, it was ridiculous, it was perfect. Here is where the magic happened. At first, the cheers were ironic. Fans laughed with the gimmick instead of at it. But then, the work rate spoke for itself. Big match after big match. El Grande Americano delivered, whether it was a 50-minute clinic on Raw or a show stealer on a PLE card. Every suplex, every promo.
Se compra colchones, tambores, refrigeradores.
Every little facial expression chipped away at the irony until the cheers were real. Fans didn't just tolerate El Grande, they loved him. And we have to give credit where it's due. WWE booked this perfectly. Slow burn push, protecting the gimmick from squash losses, giving him big moments that mattered. Like that shocking elimination in the Royal Rumble. I'm just kidding. El Grande Americano never appeared in this year's Royal Rumble, but Chad Gable did, and he got eliminated. This wasn't forced down our throats, it was organic, and that's why it worked. The internet turned El Grande Americano into a cult hero. At first it was all jokes, memes about his mask, ironic t-shirts, but then those memes became love letters. Today, El Grande Americano masks sell out at live events. Kids chant his name. He's become a symbol of everything fun about wrestling. A great example of this was at the recent Triple Mania event when he serenaded himself to the ring. Look at the cheers, and even within the match, how much of a response he gets. In an era where wrestling can feel too corporate, El Grande Americano feels fan-made, because in a way, he is. The audience willed him into greatness. So the question is, what is next? Could El Grande Americano hold a championship? Could he headline a premium live event? Could he main event WrestleMania? Sounds crazy, right? But if you told me like a year ago that this character would even be relevant, I don't know, I'd probably laugh you out of the building. I found the character somewhat amusing, but I didn't foresee it be this freaking great. Also, we have to take into account when Chad Gable comes back, what that means to the character. Will there be a power play for the soul and mask of El Grande between Ludwig and Chad? There's a whole bunch of possibilities with this character, and that's what's so great about it. In conclusion, El Grande Americano is proof that in wrestling, nothing is dead on arrival. It's about effort, creativity, and passion. Chad Gable and Ludwig Kaiser didn't settle for a paycheck. They turned a joke into a legend. And in doing so, they reminded us why we love wrestling in the first place. And I, for one, am looking forward to many more entertaining matches and PLEs with this character, played by two people. And I think the potential is unlimited, because you could bring so many people to even just kind of vie for the mask. I say bring Omos, have fun with it, have Chelsea Green wear the mask. I think there's so much they can do with this character, and I for one am looking forward to, but at the top of the heap, Ludwig Kaiser and Chad Gable will always be my El Grande Americano. On that note, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the El Grande Americano, then I want you to hit the like, subscribe to our channel, and because as always, Viva El Grande Americano! Silencio!
El Grande Americano.